One thing I wonder is that do animals suffer from toothaches like humans do? I would think that the answer is yes. I've seen sometimes, I think a dog will display that they have a pain in the tooth, but then again, that could be caused by the food that they eat that's being manufactured to cause problems from the inside out, really. I think that tooth decay is something from the inside out. If they didn't get to your mom, um, fluoride, fluoride is actually something that it decays the bones. You'll see, kind of well-off families with their children being born. Really, I mean, talking about above the the average household income. They are taking the instructions to brush with fluoride, and they their children end up with brown teeth, and it's just unfortunate, right? Like, well, where does that come from? Well, it came from the innards, the inside out, that they got into their inner growth system through their mothers who were instructed to do fluoride, and that's where it's doing. They're like, yay, A plus on the damage that we caused there, because that's really how it does start to affect a long-term basis. It just breaks down the organism's ability to have a strong bone structure. And then if you can imagine the mental um, statuses of us right now, I mean, a lot of people think they're doing sharp out there while they're, um, if you see all the safety measures they put up, which is like even less safe for people because of the way that it keeps them lazy in a lot of ways. And anyway, thanks for listening to this. Didn't I have any idea I would talk about this? I feel a little better doing the thing um, that brings me joy. And being a kind of a storyteller or somebody who likes really what it is I want to uplift and make people think of something maybe perhaps that they weren't able to think about unless I was there, right? Making them reflect. I like to cause reflection inside of people on a deep scale to where, if they hit an epiphany or some kind of deeper knowledge that they feel like a profound fulfillment over, and they associate it with me. I'm like, that's why I do these things. Anyway, yeah, no, they get a different perspective. They see me differently, and they're like, that's just a little peek in my life into how it is to be a Shauna celebrity here. I have to go and shut up my chickens. It's now dusk and it's time to do it. I shouldn't hesitate. But anyway, perhaps I'll take a moment to do that right now. My cat is using her litter box and she just had some food. And I wish I can turn this thing into a more useful thing for somebody like me. I don't really like to expose my story. It makes you vulnerable. But some people have been alone and even celibate for like 10 or 12 years on end, and then they did experience something really weird, like the last 3 or 4 years, that I wouldn't say is something necessary. But but of course it is, right? And there isn't anything wrong with the experiences. I mean, you're supposed to experience the things. That's what they say. But see, I happen to think it's like no, actually that song could have been played so many different, more beautiful ways, but it just went a certain way. Um, when it comes to the fact that see, there's other players in the game here in the orchestra, and you may be thinking you're playing you have celibacy at all. You have done your work. You clean yourself up. Are other people doing that? The answer is 100%, fucking 1,000% opposite. No. And something like you, who has cleaned yourself up in some way, in an energetic way, where all you really, I can tell you, it's not that pleasant going through a long, 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 long period of complete isolation, being completely estranged from any sense of community, people, association, no job, nothing. How did you afford that, Shauna? Well, I couldn't really afford it now. The past, well, 5 years have been rough. It was bumpy. That's when it started. Like say, well, the only reason why I did associate with people, and I don't want to sound like a narcissist like this. I don't think it's a narcissist that sounds like this. I think that it's supposed to be your friends that you have a transactional relationship with. I contribute something to them that they value, and they enhance my life with money. You know, they value making money, but it must value something. So, and I thought that we would have a reciprocation plus, right? We are friends. You enjoy my product, do you? Maybe, I don't know. See, they have an alternative. They go over there and really, I sensed, and this is the truth, babes, that people were like not liking. Babes, my experience is this. Like, and I've talked about this before, and I don't want to talk about this again. I want to associate with friends that know the game, and they don't make you feel like that. I, I, you know, I have to give you money. Really, nobody likes to give anybody their money, right? Come on now. Are you really religiously taught that to give your money is the right thing to do? Well, meanwhile, they're fucking enslaving you in the back, and it's the church that says that, really, to the point where, you know what, they have convinced people to, like, okay, so they might have a little animosity because their child doesn't adhere to the church vows, just kind of losing whatever belief system, trying to wash themselves clean like children do. And their parents, instead of giving them an inheritance, I mean a huge one, they give it to the church. And the children ends up with the, you know, an alcoholic problem and having to pawn off all of their stuff that they do and whatever. You see, thanks for listening to me. I'm in a lot of pain. It's really difficult for me. I'm having a hard time with um, I know my life needs to change. I've talked about this before, um, and I think it will. I'm just unclear as to which direction. See, I have an infinite possibility up ahead of me. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, well, why don't you slow down and do the thing that like makes the best, not only sense, you know, CENTS, but for me, my health is more important. And right now, it's like teetering on this. You better cash in all your chips right now. Get all the money you can and take care of your health. See, but I don't see how to do that if I give my sanctuary away for a bunch of money, because this sanctuary right here actually has kept me healthy. I hesitated saying that because just 2.5 years ago, the neighbors over here poured a toxic load. Not just any load, a toxic, well dressed up for just perfectly this project of giving free asphalt away to the residents around here who, it's appalling to me, somebody like me, because I live in intention here still. I, 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 I still live in the wilderness area here where it was almost, see, my family coming up here visiting this place in the 30s, and they settled a place. Finally, they bought some acreage in the 40s, but they've always camped up out around places like this, and this is one of the places, and used the trailer here before they started building in 58. That's how long they had the property. It was in the 40s. They bought it in the 40s for $4,000, 4 acres. Well, 3 acres since have been sold off, and one of them was sold off to the church because great grandma disagreed with the kind of thing that my grandma was involved with, which it wasn't really her choice. It wasn't her fault. It was nobody's fault. That's just the way that the alignment happened out of the possibility of her vibrational frequency having been cut down low. Received, I mean, everybody's kind of getting damaged here, and you know, trauma can really reduce you down. Fear, right? What and on top of it, you have a religious person there telling you that such and such experiences should be seen a certain way, like it's particularly like sinning and bad and stuff. And it's just a fucking experience. And why do you pin people on it? You see, no, my grandma was so high-minded, and it's really, to this day, it's none of our business who she chose to marry or whatever like that, or shack up with really for the rest of her life. It's important to realize that unless you're through the illusion and you have become a human being, the highest octave of love. Not only that, but an ascending master. You're like, and see you later, all you people hallucinating an illusion. It's pretty painful, by the way. You're good and done. This place is like, phew. I know I have my looks still, and I even have a lot of time left, but I am uninterested in the world. Is there something else we can do here? I can feel great without it, perfectly intact without a lot of it. I didn't just say, oh, I don't want to travel the earth and I don't want to see Machu Picchu and lay my eyes, my bare eyes on something. See, I'm really pent up here. But I don't. You see, I'm not perfect. I'm experiencing something god awful. How about you? It's the planet here, mainly the ecology of the human being. What we can understand is that it's going through a rapid transformation. A lot of things that people think how we should be programmed and exist really is unnecessary and does not exist anymore. Even the philosophies, they've kind of fallen off. And I'm pretty sure, like with the amount of wind towers they have in the air and the satellites, in fact, that might have the capability of radiating free energy as is right now. We just don't have the ability to appliance it, you see, but maybe they do, and that's how they're kind of wisping around here. Um, that too, see that there's stuff that is overlaying that's saying, okay, we're ready to implement the next method of control. Really, just the electric wires are a big thing. You know, they used to have another thing that did operate on free energy weapon. Evidence shows in just drawings and pictures and uh, about it where they were massive towers that stood like 300 feet tall, and this is just at the turn of the 19th century. Um, they were called moonlight towers or something like this, and they casted light all over the city in the night, I guess. And I'm glad they took those down. I mean, whatever, right? They have an individual light in each place now. What's the difference? I guess a big light would look more majestic, I guess. Yeah. But why can't people just fucking have a dark night? And go to sleep and enjoy, and try to see, why can't we have a sanctuary because that's where we go to a sanctuary. It's like, oh, look at how the stars are coming out because there's no lights. Well, speaking of that, this is January, I mean December 23rd, and we have Christmas lights all going up and everything. It's really just an egoic weird thing, programming too, halfway just cuckoo with that programming. You have yet to get a feel of the life on your own and become an individual light of your own, really, like that. That's what really it kind of represents. Like, what's the idea behind it? I don't know. If you can try to make sense out of it, kids, I say that you are your own special, burning, unique light coupled onto a string of using the same energy of all these other lights. You're not any different. It's just the same energy, right? Stringing around the tree that is the truth. If the truth is the same for all, if it's a tree, it's the truth, but you're all a different light, all strung on the same energy. Whatever. But see what I mean? It's like, thank God he can make a little bit of sense out of it to the kids, but really, besides it's because the electric company and their crew over there imprisoning us all, they feel really paranoid when the dark night of the soul comes. They don't like they don't want anybody to do introspection. What I mean is the darkest time of the year. More nighttime than there is light in certain parts of the hemisphere. So it's a time the danger is that people can just kind of get an early night's sleep and start getting good rest and then doing meditation about, well, it gets kind of slow, right? You slow down to meditation and you start gathering your own, yeah, get your own feast going, all that stuff, maybe, and that threatens the government. What you're supposed to do is go to Walmart and get the collective farmed food by the system way over there. And Let's listen to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story. Would you like to hear the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story? Well, pardon me, I have a headache. I mean, I have a toothache. But I'll tell you it feels better. I'm actually getting rid of most of the pain while I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, which is to be something that somebody can like kind of tune in on or out. Oftentimes people they want to hear my voice. They just want me at their house to say something, to tell a story. It's been like this in the past. See, my good friends know me because and when they hear my voice, they always say it's good to hear your voice. Yeah. So you're probably half of it, most of this, with all of these things. You just kind of fall asleep, but I don't see how you can. With sometimes I get emotionally distraught, and I've been very unbalanced. And leave it to Mars going backwards. To calm all of us Martian souls down, and really what's going to start flaring up are the people that actually hold it down a lot. They're just going to be turning into a steam bucket, and you have to just kind of say, you know what, we already tried to talk. You just notice like, we already went through that. You guys seem to be addicted to our bad mood that we can get huffy puffy because it's time to confront. We get our shit done, and now what you think is a game. What are you doing? Are you going to work it out now, or are you just going to fly off the handle? And they are going to fly off the handle. It is unproductive. Try to figure out where they're coming from. It's none of your business. But, you have to watch out. Right now, for who, Shauna? If you know any early Taurus signs, they're going through a hell of a ringer, let alone the late signs could be catching the Uranus vibration that's trying to make them change. Now Pluto is going into early degree to really rip them another bunghole. They are not in control here. You cannot maintain that kind of frequency of stoicism and just check out on everybody and stonewall and build your stable and ignore everything because you have to learn to be less stingy, less of a cold hard piece of crap. See, we're talking about those Taurus people can be like that. The Earth signs, Capricorn, they all love each other there. Virgo kind of gets off the hook, but no, they're the weirdest and strangest kind of fishy. You say fishy because it's the opposite. It's Pisces, and they could sometimes exhibit the fishy sense, but alcoholism and all. They're the most amazing health freaks. It's like really, and so you're a health practitioner for a living. You make money telling people about their health, but they turn around and they're they're drinking alcohol at the end of the day and eating a fat freaking roast beef, something non-GMO or something. It's like, wow, okay, all right, that's not working for you. I'm sure that some of the choices you're making is pacifying you, kind of like it's kind of is it a placebo effect? No, when you're doing the thing that you're supposed to do, it feels better. And I went and played music a couple nights ago. Was invited to a solstice gathering, and I was able to be in my element, and it healed so much, and I feel so grateful for that experience. But then, of course, I get hit by an entity who just kind of wants to bring me down on they want something from me, and it's like, well, can we not do that today? And I don't mind. Can you wait till I'm in the mood though? And I still don't mind. God, this video, I'm not fucking posting this. Minute 19, I'm sure gonna fucking edit it. Hi, I was just talking about something, I'm just rambling on, and I know not to expose some things to some people. First of all, because it's not really me and it's not really you. Really, I know the real you and me. That's the thing that you'll like about me is that I will really, it's called being forgiving. Till the very end, you just say, you know what? You have this moment now to make a choice, and the problem that we have with the narcissist, now if it's just we're talking about communications, but really it's an overall presence that becomes more and more like you just don't want to be around it because it's all kinds of words now that to describe these kinds of people who they don't have a natural flow. Like it's just weird that they are playing an energetic game that is fucking filthy. You most of the time see as an Aries rising, and we don't really acknowledge it. We're like, oh, well, just ignore that. Try to give them a chance. Be patient with them. You don't even acknowledge it. They think you're naive or something. It's like, well, yeah, we are kind of being. We're giving you a chance over and over until one day we just snap, right? And we say no more. We've given 110%. We've always showed up for you, and we're being present. And you're not really here for us. You're just there for you, acting like you're here for us. And you're taking from us, acting like you're giving to us. A lot of the part of the organism can hear this. They're the Aries people, and they're saying, yep, I'm still exhausted. This fucking year was a piece of crap. I was up and down and up and down. And it's like pretty soon you realize, no, the system, not only the system, but they are cranking out people that are designed that way. Talk about polarity problems. Polar fucking freaks, whatever they call them. Which is like, would you stop? Because that's a normal thing. See, we are based in dual here. We're doing polarity. It's okay to be sad and happy, but when you are a fucking stone cold idiot where you can't find the fucking middle ground of anything, let's look at your chart now. Were you born during a full moon? Yes, a lot of those full moon people that were born on a full moon, they can't reach just a happy go lucky medium of presence and everything. It depends on what sign it was in, but I know a moon in Taurus, which is a very stable moon, right? But it's a sun in Scorpio. It's a trip, very powerful person. But then, hey, when that Uranus comes over their moon, that's what's happened. I've watched several people. Right now, I've been there for my Taurus friends. I have a lot of Taurus friends, particularly that 23 degrees has stuck out to me because it's like, yeah, it hits my Venus exactly. I have the Virgo there, and those Earth signs at that degree I tend to groove with, and it shocks me about the Taurus people because my moon and a lot of me. In general, because I'm a very real person, does not like those people. But my moon, it's my moon. There's something about me that they don't groove with because of how emotionally unstable I appear maybe to be. Like I probably appear too unearthly, right? I'm an Aquarius moon, and it's like Spock, who just says, "Okay, well, oh, you want to do emotions? Okay, then let's tune in. From where did that emotion come from? Let's analyze." Hi, did you sleep with my boyfriend yesterday? I see his car out there and everything. Is that just stuff on your couch? They're like, that's not normal. You stupid enough to think that I'm gonna have this conversation with you? And it's like, no, just yes or no is fine. It seems obvious, but I'm just coming to find out. What? I'm only 25 years ahead of your time, emotionally and conversation wise. If you're an Aquarius, there's something about you. And so if your moon is there, you're doing something emotionally. Like, especially if you're a therapist, it's like, well, that's not normal. People don't just talk like that, like Dr. Spock. Usually it's a Jerry Springer show. I mean, you're meaning, I have to tell you the truth. And Aquarius is very, believe it or not, they are truth-based oriented, man. They kind of have no choice. They're the higher octave of Mercury, and man, if you have Mercury conjunct Uranus, those people are just given to God. They're like, well, excuse me, truth is here. I have to. They can be pretty scattered brained, but then other times they just get this flash of the truth of which is coming through, get download, and that's precisely how we're supposed to live. We're not thinking here; we're getting receiving things, and includes how that you can't receive from some people. What you notice is like a one-sided draw, and it's quite dehumanizing, right? And I don't know about you, babes, but it seems like it's like okay. And also, see, there's a population out there that is putting spell. They're under a spell, and you better watch out because you can start believing their projection upon you. So then, see, with that, you're not going to see that. You know what? This place is not helping me at all. The ecology now alone. See, we're in the mountains, and we kind of go to the mountains to get away from that wicked ecology that is this population of people that cannot seem to be present with each other, or really it's with reality. in reality. They have not opened an account with reality, right? There's the freeway over there and they think they're going somewhere, but it's like, thank God they think that, because if you notice that you spend a lot of time, 3 hours on the freeway, but so long as you think you're going somewhere in some future, I mean, but really, now you get on that freeway and you watch all these people that have no capacity to be here right now. They're like, it's like, weren't you prepared for this? This is all part of the journey. You're going to sit sometimes for 4 hours if you have a bad accident on that freeway, or if they just want to fuck with you and change and close one lane and put some dots in or something. They've just, I remember they were closing some freeways off just because they could. You could see it's like there's no reason for this, but they just held it off. They were kind of conditioning people, right? They were saying you are under. Make sure they show you that, yeah, freeway my ass. You're not free. We have nothing better to do but take our freedom to do this, our actually abuse power, right? And they're all lined up stopping freeways. That was a while ago, where they kept testing people. If you take the fog out of your eyes and you just remember what happened after the C-19 announcement, all these authority figures came out of the woodwork with their brand new vests and white helmets and clipboards, violating. I had to stop green trees from being cut down, and stopping the highway just because there's a little bit of snow on the ground and there's one accident, and they're like, oh, nah. And then I remember I had to talk to these so-called people of authority who hold guns and walkie-talkies and have the power to like arrest me and ruin my life that way, but I have to stand in their face and say, excuse me, um see, they're asking authority, from their bosses, if they can engage in the truth of reality, which is a person, a public figure, me, who is saying, excuse me, but there wasn't any accident on that road. There was very little ice. I just drove on it, and I can get back up there. But you guys are stopping the freeway just only because you're taking orders from your boss over there, and you're going to ask your boss how to deal with it? You need to question your. I protested right there. I said, I'm not leaving until I can go home. You cannot stop me. Anyway, thanks for listening, because I'm in a funky mood. I need to wish me luck with my tooth here in December of Christmas. I'm not gonna. I doubt if I can get an appointment tomorrow, right? And it's like not until after New Year's. The right dentist, the one that I want to go to. He's a good dentist. I just appreciate that he seems like my kind of people. He first of all, he noticed that, he said, you have a unique anatomy, and it's because, well, yeah, some people do. See, like for instance, and I don't know really quite what I'm talking about, but there's something, right, like people will say, well, let me see your hand, and you hold out your fist like this, and there's a certain bone or something that you have that's extra, and it's a bone that monkeys don't have, or something like that. I don't know. But it's just like you're a certain kind of person. There's different kinds, and you can see it in the skeletal structure. And it's like, oh no, these people are different. I don't want to say race, but I would say ET. I don't know what people think that they're interested in when they're talking about aliens and that invasion and stuff. Really, it's really just deception across the board. You want to try to show you what the real word was in aliens. We'll get through with that. Um, like and subscribe, please, if you notice those playlists that are full of the word journeying, which is going to open up more and more. I'm going to take my time with it. I'm in process of. See, you can't be too excited about it. You need to get rest. I do. I need to get rest, is what I mean. Um, and concentrate on the 3D self-care, as much as I ever did. Really, it's time to do more. And I'm excited about the change coming on, getting my tooth all fixed up and cleaned and all that stuff. And um, hopefully, see, I was hoping to, I really want to make this, if it's got to be see, I want it to be for everybody. And I see a way that it can happen. See, this is not just my problem that I feel like so strapped, right? it's because of the way there's a reversed universe, and it's not the whole, say, like your university. Um, You have to figure, why are you paying so much to get an education? Why is it such an imprisonment system? Bottom line, and nobody's really learning anything worthwhile enough that says we know how now to sustain ourselves. We are happy. No, it's a sick care system when you're talking about the medical system that takes care of the stresses that come along from the life that they have us leading. And it's hard. Well, it's hard to prove it because everybody is so fucking fogged up. Hardly can have this kind of conversation. I feel, that I am somebody who just knows that no, we have to express ourselves more and more clearly and more soundly and just keep refining and refining something that at least you did it. At least you weren't somebody who just keeps everybody like there's a it's like if you're not really, come on man, enlighten yourself, think a little more out of the box. See, what you're listening to is somebody who is it's a sad situation, man, because you could find that you're not with you don't feel that you jive with your people. They're not your people then. Now, how did that happen, Shauna? Well, I have a story to tell, and I would love to monetize it. See, the reason why I won't tell it right now is because it's still like dragging out. It's like this never-ending story right now, and I'm thumbing through so many things within myself. See, this is why I'm exhausted. It's like, wait a minute, you don't. This is so unfair to you, Shauna. You're such a bright light, and all you need is real support, like real love in your life. See, that's one of the things I want to start talking about because people are talking about love, and it's mainly the shallow love. What they're talking about is with each other, and it's like, no, you don't know the depth of the love that you can have that is better than, see, the bondage that you're doing with each other. So you have to be really careful of that. It's not love. See, it's not love if that person does not feel free to just, they know that they can be themselves. They love you because they feel more and more free to be able to just do not, see, it's not feeding back into them and just doing attention to them. No, they might find themselves on a stage now and just supporting and supported. They're supporting themselves. I'm not necessarily saying that they have to provide you with a boom stand and a microphone, but why not? If they really love you and you want to be a partner, see, that would be ideal for me that they knew and liked some of the things that I was doing also. Although I don't fully believe that that should be going on because what more reason to butt your heads if you're doing like the same thing and trying to work on the same thing? It should be that you're kind of doing something foreign to each other that you kind of look over and you go, you are more attracted to them the farther away they get with this. Like, oh, really? And yeah, well, let me buy one of your tickets to your show. Okay, yeah, I'll sit over here in the corner and just fall in love all over again. See, and the truth is, if it comes to that subject matter, as a live performing artist, um, we, believe it or not, we can be loyal. We are monogamous partners. Some of us, it's just a facade. We do our job. We put on our persona of live performance, and then it's now time to wind down. And there's a lot of energy that comes from being a live performing. You better be in it with them, or just get out of their face. It's time to energize each other up with what we love, having come back to each other, going, "Yeah, I love you, and thank you for being here in this time of my quiet time." Like just saying, "Well, do you want to? What do you want for breakfast?" Right? Just kind of bring it down to earth, ground ourselves, but don't grind each other up. like you're a bunch of meat grinders working for the church over there, or whatever that has people fucking living in bondage. I've never seen it more. I've never really had to acknowledge it more because I've just stayed away from it. I've minded my own business, and I didn't just say that I'm incapable and I've never had meaningful relationships with me and the opposite sex. No. In fact, that's how I'm able to steer clear of a lot of the fake crap and the putrid. See, there's something going on that I think. Okay, I hate to talk about this and sound biased. I hate it because I think it could be the same with men. Yeah, it's the same with women, too. There's a certain kind that's doing this certain thing, and I guess they deserve each other, right? They're, what do you call them? They're just, well, and I don't doubt that that's really the way to be, Shauna. Your financing should be all hooked up into it. What do you mean? You mean I should say, no, I want to get a pedicure? See, like a man won't pay for any of her real empowering ideas, but when it comes to a pedicure and make her look like a dolly, oh, he's paying $800 to $1,600 a week or a month to do something for her, and it's a lot. It's like they don't like it. They don't like doing that. It's money going out the back fucking end. And I wouldn't like it either if I was any human being in the right mind would not like it because, it's like to make yourself look fake, you're going to pay that much. Good for you. You guys have this fucking system that holds that whole chugging, fucking steaming, absolute petty, shallow fucking existence going. You guys aren't really there for the real life, like, that's the sad thing, when, narcissists kind of just throw out partners, if they so-called break down, because all they can do is ride them around. Kind of, you see, this is what you see is you see a really well put together individual, which is the narcissist. There is not a flaw happening. They are shimmering with this saucy. You can't tell what is that exotic thing. Well, they have a partner. They have all these image things knocked out. Nice car, nice house. Now you look at their partner, and they're always below. They're probably. It's like, is that their partner? Yeah. Well, are they drunk tonight? Maybe. Um, they're certainly not shining. Their hair is not in place. They're kind of like always sickly. Maybe. See, narcissists cannot be around healthy people, confident people. They can't. They're the ones that have the. Classically, the Leo is this way often. Is one of the signs that's known to, especially particularly the male. They don't like talkative women. They don't like women that are boisterous and loud and like they are, taking the scene and conducting the show. No, they it's just something that's truly known. And another thing is not. I would pick on the Leo if you want, the men particularly, but both Leos in general, sun, moon, or rising, they do not know how to drive. No, if you see somebody, well, all races really, minus the Oriental, we already know that they don't know how to drive. If you see them doing this and that and holding the steering wheel like this and you're going like this and you're like, fuck, and you're really feeling like that these people really don't know what they're doing because they have such an ego, really, and they really think that they're driving. It's like, that this thing just takes you along? It's a meditation. We're not really thinking about it, but they're really genuinely kind of skitterish too, because they're not very aware. Egos cannot have awareness, so their driving is terrible. Thanks for listening to this. That's how you can tell. I mean, a Leo. Just if you ever see it, you're like, wait a minute, are you a Leo? Because uh, it's one of the only times where no, I've had to grab the steering wheel of some of them because they're kind of going like this, and they're grabbing the fucking side of the shoulder, and there's a cliff, and I just, it's like, what are you doing? See, now, whether they're doing that on purpose is another question. No, the answer is no, not in that particular, not in any of the times that I've had to do it. So one of them was just falling asleep. And you better watch out. That's not backseat driving, see. Um, sorry, I'm slurring with my words because I have a toothache, right? And so I don't have any help with this. I'm not somebody who relies on I have a bad experience with dentists. First of all, I have so many planets in Libra, and then the Aries rising, and Capricorn rules dentistry, and it squares the hell out of my Saturn Cancer. Even it's just a big teeth. It sets off a fucking teeth square, and it's like can't help but to notice that this is a damaging experience, unless, of course, you have $100,006 billion, and then they just open you up to the finest. And here's the artist. What kind of teeth set do you want? Because when it comes down to if you have to replace your teeth or something, um, like get dentures. I do not like the horse teeth. Look, don't give me a set of horse teeth. See, in my world, you would have an artist there that like you can send them a picture, say your last dental record from a long time ago and say, oh, this is the original line. See, I want my original teeth line. I don't want it to change. I don't want to look at horse teeth everywhere I go where people are getting these fake dentures and shit. I want to see genuinely crooked fucking human teeth. There's nothing more better looking than an authentic smile. It doesn't matter how many teeth are missing or there or rotted out. If you crack up, manage to get an authentic smile from them, I love that look. But the fake smile with the fake teeth in it and the fake smile, period, get out of here. Doesn't matter how straight and shiny and with braces they are, you are a fake and you cannot fake a vibe. Thanks for listening to this, you guys. I hope you like the steam I'm releasing. With the Mars backing into Pluto opposition, we are heading back into a steaming pressure cooker. Talk about steaming fucking pressure cooker. It's now in a fixed sign. Our first experience with a Mars opposed Pluto on the 1st of January in a fixed sign. And that's why I said in the beginning, I think, watch out for your Taurus or late Taurus, early Taurus people, very early, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees. Because those people are control freaks and a half. I'm noticing it's like these people are, see, you're either in or out with them. You're in, you see, like you're into their mind control games, and see, I have a feeling it's just their way about them that they are doing stability with their money, and they are very manipulative and controlling and playing a game. It starts to light up. Well, here we go, Venus and the money game over there. All right, who is who? I mean, who's manipulating who? Does Venus take all of the man's money, or did the man just strip the gal of all? And what's going? Who even fucking made that? Why should that be a factor? See, I know the higher octave of Venus and or love Taurus to not need money. What you need is plenty of freedom. Freedom means responsibility. You must have the experience more and more. When love's in the room, when freedom is there, plenty of playing going on. You're exposed to all of the elements. Not only that, but you're free to do quality control. Now you're going to start feeling things based on your feelings. This tastes good, or that felt great, or this sounds good, or I got a great result from that. It's just about feeling good. That's what Venus, Taurus, see, we can love the higher octave of it because it's maintaining like it's a bubble in and of itself because it's called a vortex. You have a heart there that says, no, this is perfection. We would not have a life worth living unless we had put all of this into our vortex and we said, I love this and I want this and this is what I deserve. This is what I align to with my standards. My standards are this, and see, there's where you get a bubble, right? You get somebody in their bubble just going, no, actually, I do not want that kind of water. Why? Well, some of it really, really, you want to listen. It's really the protector, your heart and your nervous endings. It's just trying to save your life, that's all. It's not being a snob or anything. Not really, nope. You got to look at it. It's like, oh, really? But they only listen to classical music? Oh, no wonder. That's more healthy than listening to a trash truck music. Really, especially if you tune it right, the more refined you get, the more you're going to see that you're probably going to find somebody who's kind of, yes, I'll take this on the menu, thank you, but take those peaches away, please. They look They are not organic, right? Goodbye to them. That was Tesla. These are just highly sensitive people. Benevolence. They know how to live. They're just like, no, set your fucking bar up and do not lower it for anybody else's low standards, and especially not money over there. Did you need money? Here, let's put the bar down. There you go. Dehumanize you. You're just a fucking flea now. That's what the narcissist with money can do for you. It's just, no, I'm just reduced down to a flea now. You just all, but really, like I was talking about in the beginning, where how do you tell that it's going on between a couple? You really, it's a common scenario. You'll find one, the empath, kind of sitting in the corner, listening to the blues, drinking and they're kind of like in a fog. And the narcissist is like, every hair is in place. They're busy, 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 busy. They have reduced you down. You just forgot to fucking die. And, listen to how that they sentiment you. It's really just like, can I use you today? Are you useful? Really, right? You. Some people are so abused. Maybe empaths are not narcissists, but they are people that aren't perfect, and they don't know that this person is not really treating you well. Not really. No, just because they're giving you money, right? You're sitting in a shit pot, but they're giving you money. Oh, they give you a house. Oh, they even had your kid, but you're sitting there reduced down. They're playing with your kid, and you don't know that both you and your kid are in trouble because that person is using you as a status symbol. That's all. That's all. They're thinking about themselves. There's cerebral narcissists, which is manufactured by the government. They set a standard on you. It's the church originally, and then it infects. It's definitely morphed into the education system, and then your politics too. Is just kind of tell you how to live and how to be, and you got to fit in that slot. Now I'm kind of losing my train of thought, but you know what I'm saying. I don't need to repeat myself or do that. But do I? You see, yes. The answer is yes, because just because you had a eureka and you've hit your consciousness like this, and you're like, well, I don't really need to get in that world anymore because now I know. No, you should put it on repeat and say, no, this is why, this is what, and this is what, and this is why, and even though it's a kind of a dip down to keep trying to pull people up, you should do it. Just repeat it. Keep telling a story. Make a channel. Make sure that you leave at least 6 to 1,200, 12,000 videos before you're done. This is your tombstone, by the way. You have an electronic gravestone that you're writing your very life's work and all of your sentiments about life on it. It's sophisticated, but it's your modern day gravestone.